Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast.
This pig came bottling.
Just ended up puking last night. It sucked.
Whoa! Ah! We gut it, we wrap it in tinfoil, throw it over the fire.
All right, everyone, this is Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast, episode 103, I believe. Back in the studio. This is where I prefer to have the podcast. The StreamYard app is nice and all, but it's a lot better in person stuff. We can have a couple drinks and just bullshit about hunting and fishing and all that good stuff. So we have returning guests, Cooper.
I'm Cooper Elam. Work for a local agency here, and been with the TBLO group for a few years now. Waterfowl hunter. Recently just got my first deer, so excited to talk about that.
You can't just say waterfowl anymore.
No, I can't.
And then we have Mr. Kyle Walker.
Hi, I'm Kyle Welker. I also work for a local agency. Just recently, probably within the past year, Cooper was actually the one that get me back into hunting, and hunting and fishing and everything else. We're doing a lot of waterfowl with him.
So I know. So one thing we of course we talk about Thin Blue Line Outdoors. Our biggest goal is to get first responders either into the outdoors for the first time or back into the outdoors the first time. So I always refer to you guys as like the third shift goon squad. You know, they're you guys are never there when I need you.
100%.
Yeah, when people are running from me, that's when you're not around, and that's when I need you.
Brother, that's what brother, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I just want to chase people.
So, but I do know anytime you guys are working, you guys come around, I'm like, okay, we're good to go now. But anyway, if you just want to, I'm gonna mess with my mic because I can tell something's wrong with my mic for some reason. But why I mess with it, if you just want to talk about Coop, just kind of how you and Kyle met, and then getting them into the woods, and then we'll go from your side of everything.
Well, our love story begins.
Jesus. Here we go.
When I got hired on with oh man, I almost said it.
I can edit.
Okay.
I can edit stuff out of it.
When I got hired on with a local agency, and when I got on 50, Kyle he's one of my partners, still is now, and third shift nights are boring, so you get to talking about certain things. You start talking about hunting and fishing, and he was talking about his interests and how he used to go deer hunting mainly. I'm not sure, you ever been waterfowl hunting before?
No, not till I met you.
So, yeah, I told him that I'm a waterfowl hunter, and he was pretty interested in it. So, I was like, go out and get your tags, and I'll take you out to my spot. And the first time, it was one of the craziest days I think I've ever had.
I remember hearing about this.
Of hunting. And I'm like telling him, hey, we're going to load up here. We're getting out a little late. There's definitely going to be birds on the water. And I remember walking up, and there's some mallards sitting right in our decoys. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I was like, we're just going to sneak up onto them. And we're tactically moving up to these birds.
Buddy team bounding it up is what we're doing.
There you go.
And
he sees me, I'm down.
We get up to him. I think I whiffed every shot.
I've been there with you before.
I shoot 3 rounds. I don't know where Kyle is, so I'm scared. He hasn't been waterfowl hunting before. I'm waiting for him to start ringing my bell. So I just dive to the ground, in the fetal position, while he starts shooting. I'm like, shoot the bird, shoot him. And I hear him start shooting and see the mallard go down in the water. His perspective is a little different than mine.
Oh, it's a lot different.
But I get up top, and he's going low, and I'm looking down. I see the bird, I think it was a mallard hen, start swimming off the other way, and I'm trying to hurry up and get up to it before it starts diving on us. And I don't hear a word this dude's saying. I got tunnel vision on this bird, and he's supposedly saying that he's below me. So I just start firing rounds off of it to get it down, and we finally get it down. And there's a few more birds on the water we took out that day, and I could tell he was hooked after that. So.
water swatting. I'm completely fine with water swatting. Ducks and geese.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, he tells us, hey, let's load up by the trucks and everything else. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, whatever. Loading up. He's like, hey, there's some ducks on the water. So we're using like hand signals and everything.
Team
prior military.
Team tactics.
Yeah, prior military. I didn't think he knew what half of this stuff was. I was like, oh no. So we start going up, like I said, bounding, man, bounding. We see him, and then Coop gets up like he's a, man, it would have been like Civil War, gets up, like you're running after him. And so, yeah, he starts shooting him, and he crosses in front of me, so I'm waiting, I step off, and then he's like, I'm out, shoot him, and I said, duck, and he goes and he lays down, he goes, shoot the bird. I was like, give me a second. But I had to delete it and everything else because I'm going through what he told me. I was like, butt, belly, god dang it. Butt, belly, big, got it, boom. Put it down in the water. So then fastest I've ever seen a son of a gun load a shotgun in my life. And I'm over here still messing with mine. He's going high. He's already gone. I'm like, Coop, I'm going low. Not a word. I'm like, Coop, I'm low. We get a little bit closer to where I see the duck. And I'm like, Coop, I'm low. Boom! It goes right in front of me. Sprays the duck, everything else. I was like, you got him. Yeah.
So how many did you guys end up with that day?
That day, 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5. And
5.
He killed all of them, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, yeah, he domed. There was a few bufflehead, and there was a good mixed bag that day. Some bufflehead, some mallards, and I think a gadwall, even. So, yeah, it was a good mixed bag.
I like gadwalls.
Yeah.
I like gadwalls a lot.
I mean, they're basically like mallards, and they're the same size.
Pretty much.
Just an uglier version of a mallard.
Yeah, I call him my handler when we're out there because I'll be already punched out and he's like, wait. So I already have my sights on it and he'd be like, wait. And he'd go, okay, shoot it. Boom. As soon as he goes, okay, boom. And the thing would be down.
Yeah. Teaching them from experience to the premature shots are too far away.
Yep.
And then they start diving on you, and then it's done. After that, you're not getting
Yeah, I didn't know they dove until we were looking for one, and it dove underneath. I was like, what? I was like, is this even a bird? I didn't know they dove.
Yep.
I know they fly and hang out on the water.
Did you lose any birds at his spot from turtles yet?
No, I have not, but he's told me about that one.
Yeah. It's like, it's alive. Oh, no. Turtle nibbling on it.
I couldn't believe that.
I've never had that happen before.
I see turtles around there all the time, but they're smaller. I've never seen the big snappers around there like that.
It had to be.
Oh, 100%.
Had to be a big snapper.
At least they took the head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you still got the meat
They still got the meat out of it, so it worked out good. So that was 2 years ago, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
First duck season.
Now, for you guys, have you guys only been waterfowl hunting together? Because I know you've been squirrel hunting, and obviously he's been deer hunting, but I don't know if you guys have done anything else.
No, I think we
I
have.
think so. We were going to go squirrel hunting the other day, but I stayed up way too late, and I needed my beauty sleep, so.
I stayed up very late, and I decided I got to be up in 2 hours anyway, so why go to sleep now?
That would be the thing to do in that situation.
Yeah.
Just stay awake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, let's move on to this year. So, obviously you've been waterfowl hunting. I know you and your pit crew have been quite a bit this year. All in all, how would you rate this duck season?
For the days that we went out, definitely a lot better than last year. Like, any year, last year was just miserable all around the board for everybody I talked to, even the hardcore waterfowl hunters at my old agency that I worked at, and I knew, and it was a terrible year. And coming off a year like that, honestly, anything's better than that. So for the time that we went, it was a good year. But we didn't go that much. I mean, we were busy most of the time, and our pit's never full. So you have 1 or 2 people out there and shoot maybe 2 or 3 birds at a time. So if we were out there every day, I think we definitely could have killed around 100 this year. But we didn't get anywhere close to that. Still a good year though.
Yeah. How many times did you get out waterfowl hunting this year? If you had to guess.
Quite a few. I'd say probably in the, what would you say, upper 10s? 15 maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Well, yeah, it's
there were a couple of times where he was out. I didn't have first season deer tags. So he was out. And so I was like, yeah, I'll go out. And I said, so somebody's in the pit.
He had that
was the day where we shot about 5 or 6. that day because that's when I shot the bluebill.
Yeah, the day that you guys
I
had
like bluebills too.
Yeah.
the best day out there
of
so
our
far,
life.
and the day I couldn't
Stupid
go.
windy, directly in your face, cold, sleeting. They were
I
all
don't
there.
know why, but I've heard that multiple times during the first firearm season. Like, it's almost always a good duck day.
Yes.
But most of us are deer hunting.
Yeah.
That always seems like to be
It
a
was
common
worth it
trend.
this year.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're sending me pictures. I couldn't go that day, like either hunting deer or duck, and they're sending me pictures of all the ducks they're killing. I was like,
So a funny story about that day actually was I was hunting with his brother-in-law, and he's looking through his binos, looking at the other like shoreline, and he goes, "There's a duck standing on that shoreline." I said, "Do they do that?" Like, I'm still so new to ducks. And I'm like, I was like, "They do that?" He goes, "Yeah, look right there." He handed me the binos. I'm looking, and I was like, "I don't see a thing." And I see it move its head, and I was like, "Oh, it's right there." And I looked at him. I said, "You want to go sneak up on the son of a gun?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm down. All right." So we get out, and of course, as we get out of the pit, we get on the other side. Here comes some more ducks, right? Great. So we come around, thing swims off. Now I've got a vendetta against this thing because I'm going to get it. So I come back to the pit, wait a little bit, and I see it back over there. And I was like, "Hey, just stay here, shoot anything that comes in." I was like, "I'm going around. I said, I'm going to get this." And so I'm going over there, and I'm moving tactically through the water. Like, I'm not making any ripples. Like, he even said when I got back, he goes, "You didn't make any ripples,
I gotta
any
put like
sound."
a GoPro on you.
Oh, you should, dude. I am. Oh, shout out to the Army. I'm walking through the water on me, and I'm not making a sound. Even I'm surprised with myself. And I come, so you go shoreline, and it kind of bends and goes into a pocket. So I was following the bend, and I'm already punched out, leaning, and I see this thing. It sees me, tries to shoot out. Boom, shoot it. See feathers go. Didn't realize I had a 2-shot in. So died immediately.
Yeah.
And then it's a windy day in this pocket. There's no wind. So he's sitting there laughing at me because he's looking at the binos. He's like, "Dude, that was like top tier right there. Like, you didn't make a single ripple in the water." And so then he sees me over there. It's no wind, no movement in the water over there. And I'm just throwing sticks and shit, trying to get the ripples to bring it back. It starts going further away. And I was like, "All right, forget it." I was like, "All right, look, dumb out here. I'm going back."
What was it?
It was a bluebill.
Bluebill?
Yep.
Have you gotten to the point now so I've been fortunate, I've been hunting pretty much everything legally, or other words, since I was a little lad. What time do you think you can ID most ducks now? Or are you still guessing? Cooper shaking his head no.
No.
No. I got you.
He sees something fly by, that gun is almost up. I have to like get out of the pit and like hold up, everybody, chill out.
That's what I was just wondering because I couldn't tell you back when I was a kid. Like, when did I start figuring out? Okay, this is a greenhead. This is a bluebill. This is a ringneck.
I can tell whenever it's like a wood drake because, just that they are more colorful. Their eyes are more like a vibrant red. They have the little swoop and everything else. I can usually tell whenever those are flying in because that's early morning most of the time. And then mallards for the most time. I mean, bigger than most of the ducks that we're shooting at here. So I'm like, that's pretty big. I was like, that has to be a mallard. But no, other than those two, no.
Gotcha. So
if it lands on the water, maybe.
So, you used to deer hunt. Now, obviously had a long pause of hunting, and now you got into waterfowl. So, I mean, if you had to rank them, is there one you prefer right now? Waterfowl or deer hunting?
I like deer hunting because I like every once in a while being by myself and just everything's quiet. But duck hunting is nice because you can sit there, we can cook breakfast, we can just
That's my favorite part.
completely bullshit and everything else. And then we look over and we're like, "Oh God, that's a duck!" And we're scrambling to get our guns up. But yeah, I mean, I love both, but I think right out, honestly, just because I didn't have any luck this year with deer, I like duck. Yeah, same thing for squirrel. I mean, we're just walking around the woods talking.
Yeah, I
and we
was
see
going to get to
something.
that here in a
Wow.
second. Yep.
He's got that waterfowl fever this year. Like, well, at the beginning. Now when I ask him, it's too cold. And I'm tired. It's a lot of work.
Sorry, dude. You know what? Every once in a while, I like to sleep and not be like this on shift.
Well,
We're gonna like that on shift. Okay, every once in a while.
waterfowlers are miserable
Look.
in life. All right, you need to learn that.
That is true. The serious ones are anyway. Like 100%. No, because we've, again, trying to get more first responders into the outdoors. I've had 2 guys reach out to me at my agency, want to get into hunting. One, deer hunting, which obviously is my bread and butter, but one's brought up waterfowl, and I've already said, I've told him, like, listen, I can point you in the right direction, but I ain't your guy, because I do like duck hunting. It is fun, but I got the deer. I love sitting in the deer stand, and again, as you were sitting out in the pit, I was sitting out in a blind hunting, and what was it, like 12 degrees, I think, at the end or something like that.
It was pretty cold today. It wasn't terrible, but
Well, it was cold.
it was cold.
I got home and my car said -4. So yeah,
Dude,
it was cold.
last night at work was cold.
It was cold.
And I was like, even thinking to myself, I was like, man, I don't want to go today. But my dad wanted to go out. We got a new ice eater out there.
I saw it.
Yeah, this is the first year we've actually been able to use an ice heater, and the one time that I've been able to go out, there's nothing flying.
Yeah, there was, I know you and I were texting, and I saw, after like you and I started texting, I saw maybe 2 groups of geese, 3 at the most.
We got out there too late today. By the time we got like all the decoys out, I'm sitting out there messing, like using an ice auger to get a hole made by the ice heater so they can throw water on top of the ice.
Yep.
By the time we got that done, like it was already past time. You get that hope still. You're like, maybe.
Yep.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, but like Kyle said, it is different. Like deer hunting, there's at least I put pressure on myself, like especially in the moment of the shot and stuff like that. I don't feel that when there's a group of ducks working. I'm excited. But I have no pressure. If I whiff, I whiff. Like it is what it is.
That's why with compared to like one shot slug and then a spread, you're like I can get close.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm over here telling myself I'm like Chris Kyle, just sniping these birds. In reality, I have like how big of a spread out there. Oh my god, I'm so good at this.
But then you talk about it, you get that big spread out there, and he's been with me on a few. Who just whiff. You're like, how am I whiffing?
Like, how is this bird still alive?
Yeah.
When you flock shoot, like every time you try not to, you see a big group of birds and you want to flock shoot them. Like you don't want to pick one out. And it seems though every time I tell myself I'm going to pick one out, we need to like call them out in the pit. We never call out which one. And I go to aim at the one I'm picking. It's already dropped by the time.
Yep.
And then I'm just flock shooting again.
I believe we've probably told this on the podcast the last time because it was Cooper and Ray and me. But we got a famous pintail story when we were in college. We had the weekend, I think it was like a Sunday, where he comes out to my duck blind, my dad's. And this gorgeous pintail comes in. I mean, just gorgeous bird. We got 3 shooters all ready to go. Comes in plenty in range. Like, this bird should be dead. We all 3 emptied our gun and never touched it. Never even touched it. So, I don't know what it is, but no, duck hunting overall, blast. So, Kyle, I want to bring up a little bit squirrel hunting. I don't do it a lot, but I do it because it is...
It's a good time.
Especially like, okay, so I'm going to use our team member and friend that everybody knows, Josh Atkins. He was involved years past now in a critical incident. So he had some time off. I knew he was bored. He was texting me all the time, bored and stuff. And he had never been squirrel hunting before. So I'm like, okay, I'll take you. And so the only hunting he had done at that point in time was with me, had been deer hunting or coyote hunting. So, it's stealthy, don't want to make too much noise, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I go out there, and I don't know what you use, we'll get to it, but I like to use 22s, usually for squirrels. A little harder, and then obviously not ruin meat. So I give him a 22, I got a 22, and we go to a spot, one of our deer stand spots, we're sitting on the ground, and I see this squirrel like 60, 70 yards away, moving away from us, So, I go squirrel, and he's like, okay, where at? And about that time, I'm taking off running. Just running. He's like, what do we do?
It's funny because he actually, cause I go hunting with another one of my buddies, and that's with another agency around here, and he even said, he goes, Josh said he wants to come out sometime. I was like, brother, I'll mention it to my buddy who hunts on the property. I said, I'll mention it to him. I was like, there was plenty of room, and he was like, oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, he likes it. So I remember we ended up killing that squirrel. I think it was a gray squirrel, if I remember right, but. After I don't know how many times we shot, I can tell you it was more than one. But we got it. He's like, I love this.
Oh yeah.
And I think we ended up with 3 or 4 that day. I know I gave them all to him. And he's like, yeah, this is completely different than deer hunting. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a different world now.
It's an all around good time.
Oh yeah. There's not. Because it's like duck hunting. You just walk around, just shoot the shit, and then you hear a barking. Like me, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good at doing a squirrel bark.
There you go.
All right.
Can you give us an example? Huh? Go ahead. Give us an example.
Go ahead.
Pretty good.
Yeah, dude. I'm really good. I call him in. Dude, I call him in. I'll piss him off, man. I get him talking. I'm like, hey, he's over there. But actually, so recently when I went squirrel hunting, funny story. So there's like I said, he has like this 600 some acres that we're on. I'm realizing I'm 27 now. I'm getting old. All right. I can't walk up these hills like I used to. My hips hurt. My knees hurt. Man, my back hurts. I'm sitting down. I tell those 2 guys, I said, hey, go ahead and go that way. Thanks to see the squirrel. I said, I'll sit here and see what I can see. So then I call out. I'm like, hey, I was like, there's barking across the valley over here. And they're like, okay. I'm walking. I'm just scanning. And I see it go down the tree. I said, got him. So we go over there. We hop a fence. And I'm looking around. Can't see it. I'm like, well, I'll give up on this tree. I walk up the hill. And I was like, wait, give me a minute. And I start barking. Like for a good 2 minutes. Piss it off. And I turn around and go, oh, there you are. Right down from the tree. That was all it was.
Yeah, squirrel. We're gonna have to, now that deer season's coming to an end, we're gonna have to plan a big squirrel day.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So, Cal and I may have had a joke, texting group, a few weeks ago. But on my farm here, I had nothing but red squirrels. Nothing for the longest time. And then 2 years ago, I started noticing gray squirrels, which I'm like, huh, that's weird. Now we got red squirrels, gray squirrels, and black squirrels all over the farm. I've never killed a black squirrel. Kind of interested. So.
Hey, I never have either.
Right.
Yeah.
So, since you've been doing some squirrel hunting this year, how you eating them?
So, the cooking portion, because this is the first year we've gone squirrel hunting. My grandfather, he's been hunting for his entire life, back in 1800s or something like that. And he, whenever my dad's in Mexico right now, but whenever he comes back, we're gonna have a big squirrel fry.
Okay, you're gonna
so
fry 'em?
I don't know. Yeah, he fries them, he breads them, fries them. I don't know what he does from there, but how we quarter them out is just you take off the arms, take off the legs, and then you just cut down them, pretty much cut it in half, and then just break it in half and fry it as is.
Yep.
With all the loose meat and skin.
Are you keeping the tails at all?
I am not.
Okay, because I think
want a tail?
No, I think they still do this. I know as a kid we used to do this, and I haven't done it since I was a little guy. But the MEPS, the lure company, it's a spinnerbait. So usually they're like brown hair. But you make them out of squirrel tails. You have to look it up. If you send them so many squirrel tails, they send you a free lure. So I don't know if they're still doing it or not. That's just old, cool. Yeah, just old knowledge that's up here in the noggin.
Yeah, no, I'll find out for sure.
But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know all the details and stuff. I just remember as a kid we did it. But yeah, I know I've had them fried like that. They're always good. And then Josh did them. He said they were decent. Meat Eater from Steven Ranella.
Yeah.
He's got a chicken wing recipe, but you use squirrel instead.
So I can see that. I can see that with how.
So
with how they get quartered out and everything else, I can see that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I know I want to try that sometime. But yeah, and you haven't went any squirrel hunting this year yet, have you?
Not this year.
Oh,
no.
we're definitely.
It's such a good time.
I
You have
haven't
to
been
plan it.
squirrel hunting in a long time, honestly.
Well, I didn't realize how long squirrel was in season for.
February, right?
Yeah.
February something. I
Yeah,
don't remember
all the way
when
to
exactly.
February.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
It's a good
it's
pause
kinda-
between goose season end and then right before snow goose season. Get us some squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel hunting.
Yeah.
I'm down to
Dude.
clown.
Oh, yeah.
I'm down to clown. So.
You're whispering sweet nothings in my ear, and I'm here for it.
Yep. That night. Okay, you can go on YouTube right now and type in squirrel hunting, which it'd be fine. But I almost think, it'd be kind of cool to take, like, a real cinematic YouTube clip of squirrel hunting. You know how like see a majestic buck walking through. I want to do that though. And here comes this red squirrel coming. I want to almost do that and then have Kyle waiting, like, or even better, have you waiting. You're behind him barking. Kyle's calling in the squirrel to Cooper.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Legendary. That'd be like,
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
oh yeah.
it's an idea I've been floating around in my head, so I thought we can make this work.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Down. There we go. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll have a squirrel hunt eventually coming up.
We
So.
need to, like, every time I went squirrel hunting, though,
Mhm.
is with a shotgun.
I brought my shotgun too, though.
But I use, like, dove load.
5 shots, 6 shots, something like that.
Because
Yeah.
it's nothing better
Could
than
it-
when that squirrel is running away
Mhm.
and you blast it out of the tree with a shotgun.
Oh yeah.
Hilarious.
When I first started squirrel hunting for the first years, that's all I used was shotguns. And then eventually I got older and started using 22. Just because, man, even a dove load can be hard on them sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, that's true.
I know when I was teenage years, my dad started taking me out with a 410. That was the way to go because it's not as hard with them. But a secret that my dad taught me. So you walk up to the tree, squirrel goes on the other side.
Right.
Take a hedge ball, a big log or something, and you throw that on the other side. Usually that squirrel will come right around to your side. But sometimes, man, that squirrel's point blank.
Oh yeah.
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 You're like, you shoot it, you're like, oh.
Yeah. My buddy made that mistake one time, and that was the last time he made that mistake.
Yep, man, it just decimates the squirrel.
Yeah.
So, well, Cooper, I know I've been duck hunting with you since college days.
Yeah,
But this year you got a lot bigger animal on the ground.
I did.
I want you to tell that story. I was super excited for you. So,
I mean, so I've been trying for a couple of years now, like just slowly getting into it. The knowledge that you give me, and then some of the other guys on the team that'll give me.
that's your problem. If you're listening to me, that's why it's taking you a couple years.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And I got a spot. There was like, it was questionable at the beginning. There was another guy that was coming out to the spot, but he left and wasn't coming back. So I got lucky enough. One of my dad's old friends was like, "Hey, property's yours if you want it. It's not very big, but enough for me." And I went out there, saw a bunch of trails. One of my other buddies had some extra trail cams, so we put those out there. And I'm like, yeah, these are old trails. Like, there's not gonna be anything back here. First few weeks, corn's still up, or even the first month, corn's still up around there. It took forever to get the corn out around there. Don't have anything on the trail cameras. Like, getting really discouraged. Like, this spot's a dud. I'll try it out. And it'd be like once in a blue moon one comes through here. And then once they cut the corn, I go out there, and like the day before that hunt, I go out there and check the trail cameras. Tons of pictures of like nice bucks and does, like walking 3 at a time through this spot. They're using like this property to get from one cornfield to the other, so they pass through there a lot. And there was even a few deer beds on the further backside. But I was so excited, like around the same time every day. So I'm like, okay, it's on. I get off work that morning. I've never sprinted so fast in my life inside to take my gear off and get changed and go over there. And luckily it's only a few minutes out of town. So I get out there, set up, and I'm like, have big heavy stuff on. Like, I'm wearing waterfowl stuff out there. I don't have deer stuff yet. So I don't have anything that's like quiet. And I hear geese, so they naturally draw my attention. I'm like up looking around, like, where they at? And I look back, doe like right up this hill, maybe 20, 30 yards away from me, just like staring right at where my stand is. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like trying to shift my position to get my gun up, and I'm using my grandpa's old brake barrel, which that's a story in itself. But it's super light, thankfully, and I'm like trying to position it. Each time I move a little bit, the deer's just looking around, stops, goes back to eating berries, which was like super cool to watch it eat the berries that were around there and kind of graze. Like I haven't really had time to just sit there and watch like a deer walk around the area. So that was really neat in itself to just kind of watch her graze. And she starts coming down the hill, and I'm getting like adrenaline's just starts pumping.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'm like, this is actually happening. I might kill a deer today. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, don't whiff, don't whiff, don't whiff. And the whole time.
There it is. There it is. Like, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss.
And I'm just inches at a time, like for about 10, 15 minutes. I'm in this ongoing battle between me and this doe. And every time I'm moving, she's popping her head up looking. And finally she gets close, like 20 yards or so. And I'm like kind of sitting out like this, holding it. I'm starting to get fatigued. I'm sweating. I'm like, adrenaline's going. I'm like, I need to get moving. And she starts like stomping.
Oh, that's getting the end is near if they start seeing that. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I need to get going. And pull up, and there's a little bead on the end of this end of the shotgun. So it's like it shoots true, but looking at that bead from that far away, it's like the gun's going like this. And after like a minute or so trying to calm myself down, I was like, you just gotta just send it.
Send
and
one.
I send one. I mean, it had a spiner. Drops to the ground, and I'm like, can't believe it. Like that I actually hit a deer, and she's already on the ground. I'm waiting for her to get back up and start running and going, like follow the blood trail and everything. Doesn't get back up. She kind of lets out like a little death cry, and then moves a few more times, like trying to, and then it's just done. And I just, the adrenaline that I've had, the high from that is next to none.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane.
Oh yeah.
It was so cool.
That's why I love it. The adrenaline you get. Like, I just don't. I enjoy waterfowl hunting, but I don't get that from a duck. You know.
No.
And you know it's funny. So a doe, I definitely don't get it like I used to. But even a doe, if I know, hey, today I'm not going to shoot a doe for, you know, I'm just big buck on whatever, I don't get nervous when I see one. But in my mind, if I go, okay, today if I get a chance, I'm going to shoot a doe, and I see a doe pop out, I start shaking. I'm like, oh, here we go. But I will say this: first time you get some antlers coming in the woods at you, and you know you're going to shoot, it's worse.
It's going to be worse.
It's worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had an either or, but not shooting a deer before and then being that close, I was like, I got to send it.
Yeah.
So she wasn't that big of a deer. Enough meat though for me, and easy for me to drag out because I don't know where you were that day. I think
I was shooting ducks.
Oh yeah. You're out there shooting ducks. And
speaking of though, I think this is your clip that's about to come up. So this is your morning interview. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think it's all pixelated. I think the internet's.
It's pretty dark outside. Yeah, there she is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect time.
Yeah, just
Perfect
spiner.
time.
Not a far shot at all.
Yeah. I love this video. When you sent it to me, I'm like, oh, he is jacked up right now. I love it. You know what's weird? Okay, I don't know if you guys have experienced this yet. So when it comes to our job, and okay, we're hunting this person because, you know, they got a warrant, they just committed this crime, whatever. I get excited and I love it, and when we catch them, it's like, good job.
Cool.
Yeah, good job. Awesome. I get way more jacked up when a deer's coming through the woods. I want to shoot it.
100%.
It's a whole other thing.
Yeah. I have more adrenaline shooting that deer than I've ever had on any kind of search warrant or any operation I've been on.
I agree. Don't get me wrong. Love it.
Yeah.
Love doing search warrants. Love catching bad guys, but that's way more. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's just that, like, you put in all this time and effort during the you're preparing for everything, like putting out trail cams, finding the right trees to set your stand in, everything that goes into that one moment to shoot that deer. And I mean, even the just like constant dance you're having, waiting for him to come down there, and then everything afterwards too. Like, I thought it was super rewarding. That's my first deer. And I didn't take it to get processed. I drug it out myself. I field dressed it myself. And then Kyle and my other buddy Luke helped me quarter it.
Yep,
And he helped me.
Luke made all those for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He helped me quarter it, and then he helped me grind up the
There
meat.
you go.
So, like, it's just that much more rewarding to do it all yourself. Honestly,
I agree.
think.
Oh, yeah.
So,
100%.
no offense to people who go and get it processed. You know, you just don't have like the time. But that was so cool. To even do that.
I agree with you 100%. We actually talked about it. I talked about it in the last podcast with Cody Gravitt about, be wary of meat processors you may go to. Now, I think all the ones around here I think are pretty good for the most part. But like the great big ones, sometimes you don't get your deer back. They just know, okay, you brought in this big of dough, you get this amount of meat on average. Which I agree with you. I process all it myself as well. Like, I just know, like, I like to know that it was my hands the whole time, and I know this is my deer. And and if you take it to a meat processing plant, like, I know, hey, I gutted it right away, I skinned it right away, I did all the right things. Yeah. You don't know what somebody else does. I've seen some people before that, didn't. Well, my uncle, being a former taxidermist, I had deer brought into him. They still got the guts and stuff in them because they were able to pull a tractor up, and it maybe was a little warmer than it should be, and I never understood that. So, I was going to ask you though if you process it yourself. So, if you ate any yet?
Oh yeah. I cooked some backstrap and
some tacos.
That was so good. And
the tacos were amazing.
Yeah, I forgot I brought in tacos.
Some good
to work
tacos.
Yeah. So I grew up. That's one thing. Growing up deer hunting, even my mom, who isn't the biggest deer fan, loves venison tacos. So, like 90% of my tacos in my life have been venison tacos. So
I mean, personally, dude, everybody likes to do it their own way and everything else. I love grounded. Meat grounded. You can do so much with it. Yeah. You can throw it in pasta. You can do everything with it. My grandfather, he makes his own spaghetti sauce with it.
I still even make jerky with it too. Like, I got one of those.
The jerky guns.
Yeah, make burgers out of it.
Yeah. So
what jerky seasoning using there now?
I haven't got it yet, but probably just start out like basic, like hickory, and we have a dehydrator at home, so I'm just gonna try it out. The guy who lets me hunt, he told me, he's like, if you make any deer jerky or get it processed, I like deer jerky. So, and I've been wanting to do it anyways, but then I was like, I gotta make him some.
Do you like a little heat?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Farm King. I think it's backwoods. Pretty sure it's backwoods. I made it for the first time last year. They have a sweet heat.
It's like the brown bags, like.
Yeah.
I'd
recommend that. That's maybe my new favorite when it comes to making deer jerky. The sweet heat.
I'm definitely gonna have to get some of that then.
Yeah, but I know you have Farm King.
That. I said, we'll mess around with that.
Oh, I'm excited. I haven't this. I forgot I even had this dehydrator. I found it in the back of our pantry, and I was like, awesome. I'll get a deer jerky gun and make it and see how it comes out. But I don't know, it's just more rewarding that way. It, how like our ancestors who hunted and stuff like that. That's how there's nobody to process it for you.
Correct.
You do it yourself.
And it's really, my brother-in-law, Garrett, he's been on the podcast, and if you watch the videos, he's on there. He's starting to realize, too, a lot of these processing plants are either going out of business or just retiring because they're old guys, or, hey, we're only taking this many deer, we'll cap it off. And his processor just retired, and I know I've heard multiple people go, hey, I always take my meat here, and then they get there and like, hey, we're full. So now they're trying to guess. I don't have to worry about that. I can do it all myself, and it's good to go.
I will say though, shout out to our locker plant in Farmington, because I went up there to get beef tallow to mix with it.
Yeah,
they just put a bunch in a big bag, and I go to pay for it. They're like, no, you can have it.
Really?
Yeah, like super cool.
That's good to know.
I mean, they're always really busy though. They're a good locker plant. I don't think at all like they would be like that. They're localized one.
Yep, I've spoke to a couple of those guys. The only thing is they won't take a full deer. You gotta have it already off the bone and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yep. I was gonna give them a chance one year. This is before I had my commercial grinder and I bought it. So this was like 5+ years ago.
Electric.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, it's the way to go.
We had a
I got
grand
the
idea.
manual, man.
Yeah, we had a grand idea. He's like, "Oh, I need a grinder." So we stop at Farm King, and he grabs a manual one. I was
Makes
looking
man-
at this. I
makes
was like,
man out of you.
I was looking at it, and I was like, I don't want nothing to do with
one
that.
day you'll have as big
Is
as
that the one you bought?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, okay.
Just so you guys know,
It sucks.
I have a whole cleaning station out in my shop. It's open to anybody. So we're the
good
welcome.
to know.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, yeah.
it's a big. I bought. So my dad and I, well, about 5 years ago, we went in together and bought the biggest one Cabela's had, and it's the big commercial one. It will go. It grinds up meat faster than you can feed it. Like
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, we do our bear with it. We do our pork with it. Like. It is fair game anytime anybody
Say
wants to
less.
use it.
Yeah, bet.
So I'll give you the code. Go in, use it. All I ask, wash it up when you're done. That's
Oh, yeah.
it.
I am
Yeah.
really glad we didn't grind up all that deer with
Oh,
the manual
yeah.
one. His grandpa had an electric one.
There you go.
Because I grind up that beef tallow with it later on for like 2 hours. I'm downstairs, like on our little kitchenette area, like grinding this beef tallow.
Yeah.
And Kayla comes down here and she's like, "What are you doing?" My shirt's off. I'm sweating. I'm trying. I was like, "Don't mind me down here." She's like, "Okay."
Get out!
Yeah, no, and anytime. Now, I will say this though, for anybody who's interested in getting to process their own meat, before we bought that commercial one, Bass Pro and Cabela's always offer like a processing special, whatever they call it, right?
Yeah.
Like during Black Friday, and for like $150, maybe $200, you get the smallest grinder they have. It's like a half horse, plus like meat tubs and stuff. Does a pretty good job. Like I ran that for probably a good year and did multiple pigs and deer with it, and it did a good job. Now the commercial one's where it's at. Like it's way quicker and way better if you're gonna do it more. But like if you go, hey, I'm gonna kill one deer a year or something, it's not a bad investment.
Right.
And if you really think, a cheap deer processor is $90 to $100. You guys can hear my kids screaming
I was
up there. Yeah, I don't know who's letting my wife and the
Haunted,
kids.
dude. All right, thanks for having me. I don't mess with ghosts.
There is some Indian burial mounds like about 500-600 yards where we're at right now. So I'm
Look.
just saying, shit happens
Is it on your property?
right on the edge.
Okay.
Right
Because
on
whenever
the-
we were out here training, dude, I swear to God, if I walked across them, I'm gonna freak out.
So, ooh, you were real close.
Okay, let's never say that to me again.
Yeah,
Let's
you
get
were
real.
real close. I'm trying to remember where you walk at. Like, you're pretty close.
So
You're
grinding.
pretty close.
I
Yeah.
heard some weird noises out there in the woods.
That's it.
And I think we might be doing training here. It sounds like per Mr. Grady. I think that's what he wants to do again.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it was
All
good.
the-
I like that.
That was
training here.
probably the best one of the year.
I say I won't be there the 22nd because I got another instructor course I'm going to
Oh,
for
there we
Rescue
go.
Task Force instructor.
Perfect. Perfect.
So
Uh,
I told him, and I'll say it to you too. Like, if anything comes up that you think I'd be good at helping teach, just throw my name in there.
perfect.
I know somebody who I'm going to partner with.
Don't you ever. I swear to God. Coop,
Off podcast.
I'll
I
get
think I know who you're
I'll
talking
get off
about.
the teams. I promise you. I promise you. If I see a training with him, I'm off the teams.
That's funny. No, I know why it was your favorite training. Because my wife fed everybody afterwards.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What was it? It was hog, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we had
Yeah, it
hog
was hog.
burgers and we had
Yeah.
what did she make? Potatoes?
Oh
I
yeah.
think it was-
Oh yeah. Cheesy potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was an all-around good day.
Oh yeah. I was like, this is all right.
Yeah,
Everything's
I'm
gonna
about to
be
do
all
that
right.
again.
Oh yeah.
We could probably swing that. So, but well, I know we're at 43 minutes right now. What do you guys have planned before we end this for 2025? Other than a squirrel hunt, now that we're definitely gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Other than that, I know you and I talked about some waterfowl hunting here, but
Yeah.
other than that, what else we got planned for 2025?
Well, there's our new guy. He's got some property, and the more we talk to him, the more interested the interest is there. I guess for words right now,
Yeah.
but he has some decent property, it seems, and we're gonna maybe not this year, but when waterfowl season starts back up, go out there. He says he's got a friend that he knows down in Texas that has property for hog hunts.
There you
He's
go.
Said that.
That's one thing I've always wanted to do with the hog hunt.
Yeah,
Dude,
so,
it's a blast. Absolute blast.
That might be
Mhm.
in the
That'd be fun.
works. Yeah, that's definitely some more fishing stuff this
Yeah,
summer.
we've-
That's like
Yeah.
a big thing. is,
I'll say I need to get back into fishing.
Mhm.
We kind of messed around with it last year, but
I would like to have like a little bit of a competition with a couple of the TBLO guys. Like that'd be fun.
I'm trying to think who'd be good. I'll be honest. I mean, I'll join a competition. I like talking shit, so I don't mind doing that. I might lose, but I'll talk shit. I'm trying to think, like, you and Garrett would probably be good going against each other, you know?
Yeah.
Steve's a big bass fisher, so we get Steve involved. I know, well, I think I told you this last year, but anytime, like, you two want to come out and fish here, you know you're good. I mean, Cooper got some big ones out here that one day.
My arms were tired after. I was just like so many bigger bass that day. That was insane.
I would say I had a nice 2-man bass boat you guys could take out there, but my wife decided to burn it down.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So I do have another boat we can take down there. So you definitely want the trolley motor ready to go, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we should definitely do some fishing. I know I'm working on some merch for fishing, so I should be coming in the near future.
I got a new. Well, it's not a new boat, but I traded this dude straight up for my motorcycle for this boat.
Mm-hmm.
This poor fella. He gave me a boat, a trailer,
Mm-hmm.
outboard motor, and a Garmin fish finder.
Oh, those
for
are
it.
nice, yeah.
And that motorcycle was worth like $1,500.
Mhm.
So like, I mean, God bless his soul.
Yep.
So
Have you had the boat out yet?
no, I have to get a new battery for the back battery of it, and then the trolling motor up front needs a little bit of wiring
Mhm.
to it, and then it'll be good to go. So I'll be able to take that out. I want to do some boat fishing.
That's I'm down to
Illinois,
do
on the
that.
Illinois
Yeah.
River, catfishing.
Oh,
I think that
yeah.
is my favorite thing.
Dude, I love catfish.
I love catfish.
Yeah,
dude.
okay.
This guy's
They
a cat
fight
fisherman here.
hard.
You and I
it
can
is
get
my
into it.
favorite thing. You're going against the current.
Perfect.
They
Perfect.
dive, dude. They barrel roll, everything. That's my favorite
That's
thing.
my favorite fish around here.
That is
to
my
fish
favorite.
for. Mhm.
I like bass fishing. I like especially top water, having a hit, and you see it hit, and you're like, oh, God. But
You know, you
catfish
two would
is
be
different.
fun. You guys ever done hand fishing?
I would
Yes.
love to do hip.
Yes, I have.
I love it.
I would be
I
terrified
love
at the
it.
beginning,
It's so much fun.
but like
It's so much
I
fun.
got scars on my knuckles because I got scared and I pulled my hand out.
Gotta leave it in there.
Gotta let it bite you. I didn't
Yep.
know that.
That's I've only done it legit one time, and we actually went to Oklahoma to do it. But I've done it just off and on my own. Just I don't know what I'm doing. But it's fun. We might do that too.
I would love
Yep.
to do that just
Yep.
once. But the one time I do it, I know I'm gonna get a snapping turtle.
Well, there's a way to feel along the, like when you go into the hole, you can feel if it dips in or dips out at any point. You pull your hand out. That's either a snapping turtle or a muskrat. If you go in there and it's straight, and you'd be great at it. You sit there and you just piss the fish off until it bites your hand.
You are good at that.
You are really good at that.
I'm really good at de-escalation.
But one thing that they didn't tell me is that whenever they bite, they start rolling, and I was like, oh. So you got to kind of like go opposite with it. It's wild. It's not.
Oh yeah.
Scary.
Then obviously,
Scary.
if you can get your second hand in, of course it depends how big the fish is.
Yeah.
If you can get a second hand and get that gill plate, that
Oh, yeah.
helps. Mhm.
Yep.
So I know when we went to Oklahoma, we caught some big flatheads. It was fun.
yeah.
It was
I
a
saw
good time.
those, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my wife, smallest person there, and she was pregnant with our second kid at the time. She got a 45-pound flathead.
Oh, my God.
And it looks 10 times bigger than what it is when she's holding it. Obviously, like this
Yeah.
fish is just huge. So,
I think
Yeah.
the biggest one I ever gotten was about 10 pounds. That's it.
yeah,
Nothing crazy. Literally just about perfect for hand. That's it.
Honestly, though, there's no better fish to eat, though, in my opinion, than catfish.
Oh, I love it.
dude,
If you,
the small channel cats,
yes.
those cooked whole.
How do you do
Yeah.
them?
Okay, so break the head off. You
Yep.
know, you got it. So then you just got the back half, and then take your knife and you do 3. It depends how long it is. 2 or 3 on each side, diagonal cuts all the way to the spine. So then when you batter it, that batter gets all the way down in there, and you fry it.
So
That sounds
how we
so
do it is that we make little incisions by the back tails, Yeah, my grandpa's got a skinner.
Oh, yep.
Grabs it, just rip the skin off.
Yep.
And then you take the head off, and then once the skin, you're done. You just bread it
Oh,
as
yeah.
is,
So
and
we
you
do,
just throw
yeah.
it together. So
Oh,
yeah, it's about the same.
Same thing, so
I
I had
just,
the
I just didn't
cuts.
think about the diagonal cuts. I was about to say, I didn't
My
think
grandpa
about
taught me that. Yep.
Yeah.
Little Andes. That's my go-to.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys like Andes or use something
it.
else.
I don't know what my grandfather uses. I think he just mainly breads it. That's it.
I use mainly Andes, but I don't know if you guys like tartar sauce or not. But
I do not.
It's
Not a
okay.
fan.
It's not my favorite.
Not a fan.
well, I make some homemade tartar sauce.
Oh, I'll try it.
And it is
Yeah.
amazing.
I'll tell you, I can't. So I used to be. Have you ever fished the strip mine lake? My dad's
Oh,
lake.
the front one down
Yeah. The one we duck hunted before, yeah.
here? Yeah.
Okay.
Ice fished it.
Oh, yeah,
That
okay.
day. That was the
So
only time I think.
it is not uncommon, especially before we had kids. If we had a couple hours, we could go there. There's so much bass in there. It wouldn't like with a few hours, we could catch about a dozen half-pound to a pound bass. So if my wife and I are craving fish, especially like the first few years of our relationship, we just go there in the morning, catch a dozen fish. Not have them by dinner time. I'd have them, skinned and all that good stuff, filleted, and we'd fry them up. We can't do that anymore. At least not with only a dozen. With my kids, man, they eat the hell out of fried
yeah.
fish. I gotta have 2 dozen.
Yeah.
2 dozen or for our family, and plus some sides. If it's just straight fish, we need more.
Oh yeah.
They love it.
I had a proud dad moment the other day. I made some. It was like almost like hamburger helper. I just put mac and cheese with the deer meat that I
Oh
made.
yeah,
for
that's
the
good. I've
kids.
done it before. Yeah.
And they loved it. I was like, that's awesome. So now you mentioned the fish, and I'm like, that's definitely going to happen too.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to like
Yeah.
the fish. So.
That goose you and I killed last year.
Yeah.
I smoked that with barbecue sauce. And my daughter was eating the hell out of it. So it just made like goose tenders essentially.
I actually
Oh,
have
yeah.
a really good recipe for goose and duck that it's not necessarily mine, but there was a few videos that I watched. One of them was the Danos guy. He had one sort of like it, and kind of made it my own thing. And I'll put a video up of that one time of me the way I make it. It almost
Perfect.
comes out as like a steak, like a
Okay.
medium rare steak.
Okay. I'm down.
Delicious.
I'm down to
It
eat
doesn't even-
any
I love
food.
to eat.
It doesn't even taste
love
like
to
Yep.
like a goose or duck.
Well, anything else to end this podcast, boys?
I can't think of anything else.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys coming.
thank you for
Kyle,
having me.
welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, man.
It's good to have you. Cooper, always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I would say if I had to guess for everybody, you'll probably be seeing these two more here in the next couple months because I have a feeling we got definitely one squirrel hunt at least coming.
You better believe that.
Yep. Probably a couple waterfowl hunts.
Yep,
And
yep.
then I wouldn't be surprised you guys out here ice fishing at all. So,
Hopefully waterfowl hunt.
Yeah, as long as it stays cold, because I know tomorrow's supposed to be in like damn near 40s.
yeah,
That
big
ice
on you.
was pretty thick down in when I was trying to open the water today. I mean, it's definitely like every bit of 2-3 inches. That's the lot, okay?
I like 4 inches. That's what I prefer 4 inches of ice.
You better believe
You're
that.
one of them. Okay.
I'm about to say.
Yeah. So I don't play around with that usually. So
No. If I hear one creek, I'm out.
I walked right out on it today, no problem.
It could be the snowing
I'm
in
a
my
little
feet. I'd be
heavier
like,
than you, Coop.
I'm out. Dude,
Oh, you know what? I got called fat last night at work, so
oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm sure you took that well.
I did.
he took it on the chin. He took it on the
There you
chin.
go.
I was eating too, and I was like, you know what, Kyle, here you go.
Yeah. Wait. Did a coworker call you fat or a suspect?
No, suspect.
That's what I figured. That's a,
Suspect.
Because I was like, wait, it's like, what?
Suspect.
Yeah.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you guys on. Hunt with you. I want to hunt with you sometime.
Yeah, for sure,
and then,
sure.
obviously, always a pleasure to work with you guys. So,
Yeah,
I know.
that one day we were supposed to go down and hunt with Orwig.
Yes.
But you had a
and then-
sick kid, didn't
Yep,
you?
I got a sick kid.
Yeah.
Which that.
Has he found his boat yet?
Poor
So
guy.
we may have a good duck spot next year. We may not.
Yeah. That is a killer spot
That
for
was, that
waterfowl.
was a real good spot.
That's what. Well, you
A
two,
lot of
Garrett,
them
Kyle,
out
they all
there.
told
He
me that.
showed me
Yeah.
that spot on the map, and I remember he's like, you know, they said I could waterfowl hunt out here if I wanted to. And I was like, yeah, you might kill a few out there, a few limits.
I think you guys give him one decent day duck hunting, not even a good day, decent day, I think he's hooked.
It seemed like he was already hooked that one day we went out there.
Day he was invested.
He got burned because Kyle wasn't paying attention. Got burned by some.
Which Kyle? I guess you're
he-
good no matter what. But which Kyle?
You
Kyle. That's
don't
Kyle.
ever.
Well-
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's staring like right at this tree, and this just fly right over a bunch of pennies.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the fact that the sun is rising right in my face. But yeah, that's my fault.
If we go duck hunting together sometime, I'm always known. Usually, if my dad's not there, I'm usually the camp cook. I like to eat. I'll bring all kinds of stuff. So I've got my little camp stove
I'm
ready
here
to
for
go.
that.
So,
I'm always down for that.
oh yeah, that's about my favorite. And I usually bring a thermos of coffee. So,
Oh, yeah.
You got to.
Well, and that was I always bring cigars. That's the
Oh
best
yeah,
thing.
cigars. Yeah.
Every time you
Extra
light it
mix.
up, they start coming in. I don't know
That's
what it
true.
is about
Every
it.
I was
time.
gonna say for me, food or you got to take a pee. That's what it makes me like. They come
Yeah. See, we haven't gotten that lucky with someone having to pee.
No,
But-
I've definitely had the
No, it's
waiters
just-
down by
But
my.
we always say it whenever we're
knees
getting out.
before.
Whenever we're getting out of the pit, we always say, "Well, get ready to kill some ducks. I gotta go pee."
Every time I'm either going out to adjust something, and I don't ever have my gun with me, and then
Oh,
I'll see 'em.
Yeah.
But if I go out anticipating like, oh, I'm gonna get out, definitely see something. No.
Yep.
They know every time.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll end that podcast, guys. Again, we're on a good trend so far in 2025 about keeping the podcast going. Like I said, I believe this is 103. I think the next podcast after this is going to be about Yodi hunting with Ryan and another bonus guest. I'll keep that on the wraps. And then I think eventually I'm going to go do a podcast with 365 Thermal, one of our new sponsors. So that's one thing. If you guys want to drop some money, get into the thermal hunting game. I just started last year.
Brother, I want to so bad because I want to go coyote hunting.
Dude.
So bad.
I've
Just
only
throw
done
that
it.
on my.
I've only done it twice so far. I'm already hooked. And
Dude,
I
wanna do it so
You
bad.
see that AGM case?
Oh, yeah.
That's a brand new thermal in there. I'm gonna throw it on my AR. And
Yeah, that's what I'm
ready to
saying.
go.
I was like, I just want to throw it on my AR and let her eat.
Yep. It's fun. Yep. On that, we'll end it. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and be safe out there. See ya.